Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Hello, hello, hello. So great to have you here. We're starting in 1 more minute. Today is our motivation coach masterclass number 1. I'm doing 3 more classes this week in addition to the training I did on Monday. And note, yes, there is a link below this
Welcome,
video.
everyone.
Oops.
Welcome.
I got myself
Hello,
in stereo.
hello. So great.
I got myself in stereo. Okay. And so, yes, there is a link below the video so that you can download the handouts, and you should have to opt in. Some of you, I noticed, are saying that to get this set of handouts, but you're going to want this handout because today I'm giving you homework, a script that you're going to practice yourself over tonight into tomorrow. And then tomorrow, you're going to tell me the results. So much coming for all of you. So hello, I am Margaret Lynch-Ranieri. Welcome to the Motivation Class Masterclass series. This week, I am opening the vault to tons of tools and practice handouts to help you become a successful thriving coach. Is absolutely what I want for you. And I know that you're here because you have a strong drive to help other people. Maybe you even already have a passion about an approach or a healing modality that you know can change lives, but maybe you're not sure how to get started, or you've gotten a little bit started. We're going to talk about that today in the 4 stages of coaching as well. I'm going to review that. And some of the handouts that you have today that you can get at this link right now is the 4 stages of helping people, the self-assessment quiz. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And then there's 2 more handouts. One that you can use to fill out your answers to the experience I'm going to walk you through today. And the other is the instructions for coaches so that you can do the experience I'm going to walk you through today with someone tonight. That is your practice script, because I always promise you I'm going to give you real things, and I'm going to tell you about this script because it may be very different than something that you've ever used or seen before. So again, I know that you're here because you have a drive to help other people. You really want to help other people, but you may not know how to get started or get to the next level. And I know it's really hard to have confidence, especially when people around us don't seem to understand or value what we do. Or we have no idea ourselves, like, how could I help people in a big enough way to get clients and earn a living at this? I came from corporate America. I wanted that kind of an income at this. And, not all of us can just afford to quit our day jobs, right? And so even when we don't love our day job, we have to keep paying the bills. So sometimes it's really hard to get started as a coach. And the thing is that I know that you have seen that some people do make it. You've seen confident coaches who are powerful coaches or practitioners are transforming their life by transforming their clients, like living their dream life, doing what they are meant to do, getting paid for it. But how the heck do they do it, right? How did they get started? How did they get there? What are their secrets? And honestly, there's something that when you're starting from scratch, or even if you've already taken a few steps, there are things that I want to teach you today that are about building a solid, stable practice with clients who will stay with you, who will actually coach with you over the long term. No more one-offs and freebies, so that you can have a significant amount of income coming in as a coach and replace your professional income. And so if that's what you're looking for, then stay with me, because I'm going to show you how I did it, how I reclaimed my confidence, how I've gone on to transform the lives of thousands of clients and the coaches since 2013 that I've been training to do the same work, while actually working less and enjoying more freedom, more time, more income than I did as an engineer in corporate America. And I'm also going to share with you, as I mentioned, these hands-on tools so you know exactly what to do, exactly what to say, so that the people that you help are going to naturally start to come to you. I know this sounds crazy, but it so works, so that people will come to you asking you more about what you do. And I'm going to show you exactly how to actually take paid clients without ever having to do the hard sell or convince or push anybody. And I'm going to give you that step-by-step action plan over these 3 trainings to bring this massive results for the people that you are destined to help. So if you don't know me, my name is Margaret Lynch Ranieri. I am the author of the books Tapping into Wealth and Unblocked. And yes, if you've been following me for a while, I do qualify as one of those confident, thriving coaches I'm always talking about, because I get to have the life that I want to live, a rewarding life doing what I love. And although it's true now, it wasn't always that way. I actually went through a lot of struggle and stress and many mistakes on the way to get to where I am as a coach. And it's one of the ways that I have developed this self-assessment quiz for you that you can download and take, because knowing where we are in the process really, really helps. And so, my story is that I started in corporate America. I was there for 18 years. And I was inspired by Wayne Dyer, by seeing him on public television, The Power of Intention. I was inspired to live my passion, a passion that I had put off, that I had when I was young, which was really about helping people. And in my entire corporate career as an engineer, it wasn't really that much of a passion for me, except for the part where I was helping and mentoring people that worked with me as a manager and all the different roles I had over 18 years to be the best at what they could, the best they could do at their job, to learn quickly, to figure things out, to be really good at their jobs. But it honestly was something that I did to pay for the bills. And sometimes going to work every day just made me want to light myself on fire. Because the truth is that I felt more called to help people. But when I was a teenager, I really lost faith that you could really help people. Because honestly, I had tried to help some of my friends who had anxiety, who had low worth, and who would look in the mirror and say, I'm ugly. And no matter how many times I tried to help my beloved friends, I couldn't help them. So yeah, I decided to follow my dad and several of my siblings into the engineering world. And it wasn't until I saw Wayne Dyer that day on TV that really cracked this desire open for me again. And so from that moment, I started to seek out and consume personal development, healing modalities, law of attraction, all of that stuff from 18 years ago. And some of these things really transformed me, stunned me, reignited in me the hope that you really can change on the inside, that you can heal on the inside, that some of our stuff, our fears, our insecurities, our doubts that we hide, it really is possible to change them. And so I went on a journey, very much like the journey you will see in the self-assessment quiz, because I went on this journey of learning amazing new things, things that were out of the box. And I became like a new believer, right? And so I was slogging away in my day job. But I really started to wonder, like, maybe like you are right now, could I really do something different for a living, like something fulfilling and get really paid? But I was alone on that journey. I was alone in this excitement. I was excited about what I was learning. I was excited about what I was hoping for. But, when I shared it with other people, people would kind of look at me like I had 3 heads or like I was weird. And they didn't find my descriptions of what I was learning like as earth shattering as I did. And that, started the doubt process. Could I really do this? Could I really earn a living? Who would want me to help them in this way? But I just wanted it so badly. So I went to the next level. And that is really the stage 2. I call it the helping and hoping level. And so I became a new, like a beginner at this. I found a community of other people who were believers like I was. I took some actual training, weekend workshops, got CDs through the mail, cool modalities that I could use, that I thought, wow, this is going to give me the confidence, right, to tell the world about what I'm doing. And then people will line up at my doorstep for me to coach them and help them. And so with this little bit of workshop training that I had, I started offering freebie sessions to my friends and to my family. And please tell me in the comments right now if I am alone in that, or have you also been through that same experience and secretly hoping that when I gave these freebies, people would be like, wow, this is amazing. And I need more of this. But what I look back now, what I was doing was I was offering help and I was giving help and I was hoping that it would work and hoping that it would convert people into the new believers, that then they would just want more. They would hire me for more. And so if you're wondering how that went, people were willing and they were willing to take my free sessions, but I often got the same response, which was, well, that was kind of cool. That was kind of interesting. And it didn't really build confidence. Yeah. So let me know in the comments, is that something that you have also experienced? Because it's not really a confidence builder. And when we want to switch careers, we need to be filled with confidence about what we're doing, especially if we want to earn money well. So, as a matter of fact, here's the weird thing. Practicing the things that I had learned from these weekend workshops, my precious modalities, things like hypnotherapy and law of attraction and tapping, the more I practiced, the more it actually chipped away at my confidence. It like eroded my confidence because of the way people reacted. And I started feeling this creeping doubt that I could really do something big enough and get results that were big enough to leave like my soul sucking job behind. And I really didn't have people lining up for more. And so I remember having that sinking feeling and like just saying, you know what, I'm not giving up on my dream. I clinged harder and I decided I needed to get more serious about it. I needed to commit. And that may be where some of you are now, or you may be listening and say, hey, Margaret, I already did commit. Right. And so I got trained. I said, I got to get trained. I got to get certified. So I stepped up and really took deeper trainings, deeper certifications on multiple modalities. I paid to be listed on directories. I made the business cards. I started calling myself a certified practitioner, even though nobody knew what that meant. And I started going to networking events locally and tried to get clients. And yeah, by the way, to prove my commitment to the universe, I took a layoff package from my corporate job. So everything was on the line at this point. But I learned very quickly that networking to find clients was really terrible. Like I wish I was exaggerating when I say that, but when people asked me what I did, why I was there, all I did was to ramble on about tapping and clinical proof and these modalities, and it's all possible. And I just thought that that was going to convince people, but people kind of glazed over and didn't know what I was talking about and wandered away. And so the more I went to networking, the more that I dread it. And again, the less confident I became. And so miraculously, I got some people to work with me, but they would do one or two sessions, they would try it out. And I would look at the small amount of money I was getting. And I was like, I had to admit to myself that I had committed, I had invested, but I was struggling to get clients, which meant I was struggling to earn money. And I didn't want to run out of money and go back to corporate America defeated. So, if you're in that boat, please let me know on the chat as well, because this is part of knowing that we are in this shared journey, right? This is why I have this download for you, the self-assessment quiz, because it's so important to know where you are and the danger zones of each of these phases. Because for me, I was struggling to get clients to work with me, even though I could clearly see some of the issues they had. And when they did work with me once or twice, then I was struggling to know what to do next. Right? I didn't know what to do next. I didn't know what to say next. So they came for one or two sessions. And that made me feel like this. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to sell. I'm going to have to sell harder. I'm going to have to push people, convince people to do more sessions. And guess what? 15 years ago or so, all of the stuff online said, yes, you are going to have to sell harder and push and convince. And I really didn't want to do that. Are you with me? Can you tell me on the chat? Are you with me there? Like I want to help people. I'm not a marketer. I don't want to sell and push and convince people at networking to hire me. And that made me want to go to networking less, right? So if this is you, I feel your pain because I felt those doubts come in. Can I get real results? Will people pay me for this? Will it be enough to earn a living? Or is kind of like struggling just the way it is for helpers, for healers, for coaches. Any of those resonate with you, please do tell me on the chat so I know I'm not alone in that. But the worst part is that I really was running out of money, right? I was a single mom at the time. I was trying to have this dream of being a coach, of helping people. But honestly, I was like living off the nest egg that I had for my daughter and myself. And something really had to change because I was running out of money. I sat down with myself and I kind of let myself feel it all. That was the same day that I told my whole family. I have 7 brothers and sisters, 7. And I told my whole family that I was not, not to get me Christmas presents this year because I'm not going to be buying Christmas presents this year. And I really felt that crash, that disappointment, that discouragement, that confusion of like, wow, I thought I was going to live my passion and I've never actually wanted anything so badly. But I knew that, watching my young daughter there, like her life, her future's in my hands, like, should I give up this dream again and go back to corporate? And again, if you've ever been there, let me know, give me some love in the chat. What problems have you encountered? What's been holding you back? Have you experienced some of these things? Because I feel like it's better for us all to talk about it. And I wish that back then I could have just taken the step directly into being a thriving coach, which is why I'm opening my vault this week and doing all of this training. Because I really want to know what you struggled with, because again, I'm doing 2 more trainings this week in addition to today, and I really want to help you. But yeah, for me, in that moment, it was a lot. But I decided that I needed to sort of double down. I believed in with every cell of my body, actually, in this modality that I had, the one called tapping, you're going to hear a little bit about, that I really could dramatically help people if I could just get them to see it, to understand me, to hear me, in that I could really help them. They could see the results and they would commit to doing more work. If I could figure out a way to say things that would wow people, that would attract them, that would show them this is real, this is different, this can work. So I took a new tact based on what I learned my whole life from my father to think like an engineer to solve this problem. And that meant I had to have a step-by-step system, a framework that would assure me of getting measurable results so that I could feel confident and fulfilled, and clients could see and feel and actually hear and recognize the results. So not only would they work with me, but they would value it so much they would be so committed beyond sessions, 1 or 2 sessions. And I needed to solve the problem, like telling people what to say when what I do when they say, what do you do? Like, what do I say so I don't get confusion and blank stares? And tomorrow in the masterclass, I am going to give you my formula of exactly what to say that took me years to figure out. That's coming tomorrow because we have so much more to do today. So that from the first moment people heard from me, they would know I could solve that. They would know that like they were the right client because they had the problems I could solve, and they were important problems to solve. Because I knew that if I could show that, I wouldn't have to convince or sell people anything. They would come to me, right? So I took the clients that I had in free sessions I could get, and instead of using my technique, instead of going in and helping people with tapping, I did something very different. And this is what you're learning today. This is the handout you have for today because you're going to practice this. Instead of jumping in and helping them, I showed them something eye-opening, the hidden roots of their biggest problem. Things they were struggling with on the outside usually was, I'm stuck, I'm overwhelmed, I'm slow walking my goals, I'm procrastinating, I don't know what to do, I'm spinning, I'm playing small, blah, blah, blah. I figured out a process to uncover the hidden roots on the inside that were underneath their actions on the outside. And I did it in a way that made it self-evident for the client, not just for me, so that they could have an aha moment instead of me having like a private, like, oh my God, this makes so much sense, aha moment. They could see it. And that was the turning point. This started to blow people away. They were wowed by what was revealed. It's like they were suddenly awake to something like clear and important, a big aha moment. They were like, this makes so much sense. And I realized that even before helping them, that process was a gift in itself. The clarity they got. That is why the handout you are getting is called the gift of clarity. And I'm going to walk you through it in a minute. So you're going to get your own clarity as a coach right now. And I'm going to tell you what we're going to focus on. And I'm giving you the script so that you can practice this. This is because what I started doing was using these kinds of revealing assessments in every session to enhance the work, to get faster, more dramatic results, because then I knew where to focus the work for maximum impact. And I did know what to do next. I did know where to go next because I had all this information. I also found, like I'm going to ask you to practice tonight, that I could use it even in a few minutes, like a short version of it with anyone I met to give them a super valuable gift, like a result in advance, a showing them something powerful in advance. And I also realized that, and you're going to see in the scripted process, the kicker is that as I honed this process and made it better, I found out that it revealed more than just the hidden roots of some of their deepest issues, like the things they were complaining about. It also revealed the high price they were paying, the pain it was causing them in terms of like maybe money, like I'm losing money, or in terms of life, like I'm wasting time, my life is passing me by, or happiness, or relationships, or health. And it clarified how much the issues underneath would keep costing them in the future. That's all scripted in the handout I'm giving you. And that meant that investing in coaching suddenly was put in perspective, right? It's like, wow, this is a really expensive problem and it's not going anywhere because I can't solve it. And this woman, this coach lady, seems to really understand it and is revealing it to me. And suddenly, again, the idea of spending money on coaching was totally put in perspective, and it sounded real good. And it sounded like something they needed right away to nip the problem in the bud. And it actually worked. People looked at me with new eyes in a new way. They were asking to work with me like right now, when can I get started? Not, hey, can I try it? Or that sounds interesting. And so my confidence soared. It was fun. I liked feeling honestly like the coolest person in the room. And it also changed how I introduced myself. And I'm going to give you this script tomorrow because instead of talking about my modality, I spoke in the language. And now we talked about this on the big training call that we did on Monday together. If you missed that, when you go get these handouts, you can also watch the replay of that training. But I talked about on Monday about solving painful, expensive, and common problems that people are struggling with, not just any old people, but success-focused people, goal-oriented people. And so I spoke in that language. Things like feeling stuck or procrastinating or holding back or freezing, all the ways that people sort of get stuck. And suddenly networking became so much easier. People were coming up to me because they were like, oh my God, that's so interesting. It sounds like you're talking to me or you're talking about my business partner. And after that, I never had to debate skeptics about my techniques or about whether coaching was real or was it a scam or whatever. And I never had to offer freebies. And now I had something I could give away for free, clarity, because clarity is a gift. And so, yeah, as I developed these ways of assessing and seeing what was going on underneath, I actually had to create even more sessions and approaches to address those. And so over time, that really became a system, like a framework that allowed me to use tapping, but use it inside of a framework, of a session and many sessions to help someone step by step, not over 1 or 2 sessions, but over months to actually address their problem. And so I went from this struggling, figuring it out, clueless, all the way to being a thriving, confident coach and really earning that title of a coach because I was getting real results and my clients could see it. And I never had to worry about getting new clients because money was coming in. And I had a great schedule. My daughter was like very young at the time. I got to spend time with my daughter, Emma, after school. She's 26 now, but we were watching SpongeBob together because I had a more free schedule and I could set my own schedule. And for me, I felt like I arrived at living my life purpose of helping other people and having clients thank me for it, having clients rave about me, giving me testimonials. Um, but more importantly, what I am doing felt like it mattered in the world. And that's how I got my book Tapping into Wealth, published by Penguin Random House, one of the biggest publishers in the world. It became a bestseller. And that's what I love doing now, which is helping coaches get the same results. I don't want anyone to struggle the way that I struggled. Because you can get the same results. I've refined it into a method. And of course, I'm going to give you the script today to practice this kind of a wow assessment, right? Now, obviously, it's not like a snap of your fingers. It does take some work, but it is not complicated, right? Effectively helping other people is a science, but it's not rocket science. And that's coming from an engineer, a chemical engineer. It is not actually rocket science. And so I really tried to refine the tools that I've been teaching to coaches over the years so that they have this clear step-by-step action plan to get started as a coach and build a real income, do what you love, have clients coming to you. And I have discovered that there's 5 major stages on this journey, and this self-assessment quiz is the roadmap. Because if you can avoid those traps, if you can avoid those pitfalls or those danger zones on your journey, then you can get there more quickly. And honestly, the world is moving fast these days. I feel that sense of urgency, right? Are you with me? Let me know in the chat. Do you feel that sense of urgency? Does it seem like time is moving faster and we need to get going? And so I don't want you to waste any time, and I don't want you to lose confidence and struggle. I want you to be able to build a solid coaching practice, not a matter of luck, not a matter of hoping, but actually having important tools. So I do have this handout for you to download, both the self-assessment quiz and the one I'm going to talk about next. And in the self-assessment quiz, you will see that the first stage is called the new possibilities level. It's like we're in our corporate job, we see something that opens us up and we get excited about it. We want to tell the world about it. That's how I was. But at that phase, we don't actually know how to help people. And sometimes when we talk about our excitement, people dismiss it, or they call it weird, or they make us feel embarrassed, or they're nice about it, but they're actually we don't really know enough to help anybody yet. And I have been there, right? And that keeps us stuck longer. If you're at that phase and you're excited about something, stay with me because I want to help you get started and get there more quickly. But the next phase from my journey and in this self-assessment quiz is stage 2, which I call the inspired beginner, where we start learning about something. We take a weekend workshop, we enroll in some fun classes, and then we start offering freebies. Right? Freebies that hopefully an experience or a freebie will get results and convince people, kind of like marketing ourselves by giving freebies. But since we're not really marketers, we're helpers, and selling doesn't often feel comfortable for us. Freebies don't often convince people to be clients, right? And so as a beginner, it's also kind of impossible to get like big results, wowing clients the way we're hoping for. So a lot of people who get to that inspired beginners level give up. They get discouraged, they feel helpless, they get stuck and stay in a job they don't love, because they've tried and they started to fail, right? And it starts to feel impossible. But when the calling is strong, and hopefully it is for you, if you've been in that stage and you're here, we want to move on to that third stage, which I call committed, right? Really committing, and knowing that for me, I committed, but then I still struggled, and I don't want that for you, because some ways of working or learning modalities don't necessarily guarantee results. They sometimes teach you to solve a narrow problem, and then your clients will expect a narrow result. That's another part of what I call that modality myth. And so again, we often get told when we invest as coaches and finish a program, now it's time to sell. And that is not how I did it. I didn't sell. When I was a coach, I told clients, I explained things in a way, and I gave them this result in advance I'm going to teach you to do, that made them wowed. So they came up to me and asked to hire me. And that's exactly what I like to teach coaches to do. So let's talk about, again, we're going away from that hope and help model, right? Where we're going to help a little bit, give a freebie, give someone an experience of what we can do, give them some 3 free sessions and help them, and then hope that it works. We're going to move away from that, because I'm going to say something kind of counterintuitive, but because one of the biggest problems when we really want to help somebody, when we really want to coach somebody, is that helping too early, jumping in with our modality before the foundation is in place, actually doesn't work. Even though our goal is to help them, it's not the way or the means to get there. It's not the whole picture, right? But there's another way, right? So let's talk about being a thriving, confident coach, like the students I've been training since 2013. And what we do is very different from helping first and then hoping. We use a step-by-step process. We still incorporate powerful modalities. I love this biohack of tapping. It is cutting edge. It is neuroscience informed, but we actually use it inside of a session. The first thing that we do is actually talk in a way and give people an experience in a way that allows them to see that, wow, we really know what we're talking about. We can deliver aha moments. We can give a result in advance. So let's talk about that, this framework in this script that we have, so that you can actually get people to see the value of what you do, have them want to work with you, and then stay committed to working with you for 3 or 4 months, so that you can really make an impact and you can actually get paid doing what you love, because I love that part. So are you ready? Are you ready to start looking at this gift of clarity? Does everyone have the handout? Does everyone have the handout? And again, I wanted to walk you through that because I didn't, download this in my kitchen. I spent many, many years trying to figure this out as a coach, and I want you to just take advantage of all of my years and everything I've poured into this to give this a try. So I'm really going to challenge you right now to take this script. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to give you an experience first, but I'm really going to challenge you. I want you to practice this tonight on someone. You can find someone to practice on. I'm going to tell you exactly the type of person that you should practice on. Because this is really, the time. The world is evolving, and I do believe there is a growing demand for cutting edge work, for more authentic recognition of what actually gets in the way, what's actually going on when we feel stuck, beyond mindset. Like, we have to evolve around beyond, like, just think positively and stop thinking negative thoughts, right? About understanding about that there's more that's going on. And it has to be more than just knowledge, just information, like learning about neuroscience or reading about the mind-body connection, or even talking about it doesn't help people the same way as having real tools that work, that people, that coaches, that you who are gifted with this ability, this desire to really profound work, that you could have tools that will work. So what we're going to talk about now is, instead of helping first, starting with a process so that you can show people, give them a result in advance and show people what it looks like. So here we go. Let me go through my notes here so I'm at the right place. And remember, tomorrow there's even more, and Friday there's even more. These are all my notes. Okay, so this is what I want you to give away for free when people ask you more about what they do. So remember when I told you on Monday that one of the most important decisions that thriving coaches make early in the process is choosing a problem to solve that is painful, that is common, that is expensive. And yeah, painful, meaning lots of people struggle with it. And what I recommend is that all coaches, no matter what other specialties you have or not, that you also need to know how to solve the painful, expensive, mysterious problem of lack of motivation, which means I'm procrastinating, I'm getting stuck, I'm freezing, I'm playing small, I'm self-sabotaging. So I want you to imagine right now that you do tell people that these are the problems that you solve. And someone comes up to you and says, oh my gosh, it sounded like you were talking about me. I am procrastinating. Now, at networking meetings, everyone there who was procrastinating, and I find this is true with coaches, was procrastinating on one thing: marketing themselves. And what was it costing them not to market themselves? Yeah, actual money, right? Actual money. So they would say, I keep procrastinating on marketing myself, and I need to do that to get more clients, which of course means I need to do that to make actually some money. So coaches say to me, but Margaret, if I can't do a demonstration or a freebie, then do I have to sell them something now? No, you're not going to sell them something. You're going to, in a few minutes, do something that's really valuable and show the clarity of the hidden roots behind their problem. Shine the light on something important, something that they will never forget, give them an aha moment. And it's about the roots of what is stopping them at a brain body level, keeping them stuck, and keeping their money stuck, because it's connected to that. And most people, go their entire lives without this kind of clarity, right? And so even though I promise you, because I know some of you are going to be like, but I want to jump in and help. I promise you that even though you are going to give them this clarity, this gift of clarity, that they are going to perceive it as powerful and valuable and important and even life-changing. Write this down. Write this down. It's really important. Life-changing, even though you haven't solved the problem yet. They're going to feel like you have given them result or proof in advance, and they will be wowed, they will be grateful, they will be captivated by you. This is the game-changing piece. So here's the process. It's one of a dozen that I share, and it's in this handout called Why Am I Not Taking Action, that you can download now at the link right below this video, the Gift of Clarity script to reveal the hidden blocks to motivation. Now, I've also got another handout for you, because this is a fill in the blank handout for you, because you're going to be the client right now. I'm going to walk you through this exercise. Ready? So this one is basically a fill out. So if you get both of these handouts, you'll notice one is very short. It explains what we're doing, just like you would hand this to a client. And then it asks you to capture and fill in the blanks. So 2 handouts, one to fill in the blanks, right? The Gift of Clarity process to uncover the hidden roots stopping you from earning more and marketing yourself. And then this one is the instructions, right? Why am I not taking action? The script to reveal the hidden blocks to motivation, okay? So I'm going to go through the script, and if you want, you can take your answers on the handout. So on my script, you ready? You all with me? Can I get a heck yeah on the chat? Can I get a heck yeah? So on this script on page 2, it's the instructions for you as a coach. It's all about the gift of clarity. And I had to pick something that you could dive in on and be juicy, right? And so the problem that we're solving, because I want to walk you through it, is the problem of I'm procrastinating marketing myself and at, at earning more money, getting more clients. And in order to do that, I need to get out there and market myself. And so in order for you to practice this today, tonight, before tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, because I'm going to ask you for your case studies and I'm going to help you, you're going to practice this on someone who has that issue, who would say, yes, I am holding myself back from marketing myself. Guess who is a good practice client on this? Another coach. Another coach, because we as coaches are also self-employed, like many people you meet at networking, like massage therapists and attorneys and all of chiropractors, massage therapists, all sorts of people. Just like coaches need to market ourselves to get clients and to make more money. So lots of instructions there on page 3 and on page 3 as well, really explaining exactly who you should practice this on, someone who resonates with those things, because otherwise they're not going to understand the process, right? So I'm going to ask you right now is if you're the client. Are you ready to be the client? Okay. Are you avoiding some action that you know you should take in order to earn more? Or are you having trouble charging your worth as a coach, or anticipate you might if you become a coach? Or do you sometimes doubt yourself or your value when it comes to charging more, putting yourself out there to get more clients, get more business? And if that's true, would you be interested in finding out exactly what is keeping you stuck and the true roots of why you're not feeling motivated to take action? Okay. And so there's instructions on page 4 that, you could email them the handout, the other handout first, so they could take notes and read about what you're doing. But here's how we get started. Okay. So I want you all to play along with me as the client. So you are not earning as much as you want, and you're struggling to get into action, get that motivation to market yourself. Sometimes you doubt yourself and your value. So let's do a quick little process and find out what's at the root of that. Okay, this is the gift of clarity assessment. So I want you to imagine just for a minute, I want you to close your eyes, because we are going to be imagining or visualizing something, and it just works better if your eyes are closed. I'm reading from the script that you are going to have in front of you. So I want you to imagine that you could just see in your mind's eye a movie screen that's like playing a movie in front of you. So just imagine what that would be like if your imagination could just paint the picture of you appearing on that movie screen. So just see yourself there on that movie screen, or imagine that you can see yourself there. And so see that image of you like a movie playing on the screen. And I want you to now notice that you're standing on a stage in front of like 100 people. And in that audience, there are people who are perfect potential clients for you, perfect potential customers for you. And mixed into that audience is also like colleagues, your parents, even if they've passed on, they're there in ghostly form. Friends from high school, like teachers from high school, people you used to work with in past jobs, old bosses, they have all showed up for this moment. And now I want you to imagine that you're standing on the stage and you're holding up a sign. And on that sign is your prices. But since you haven't been earning enough, you raised your prices by at least 50%. So you're holding up this sign and you're declaring loudly, this is how much I charge as a coach. and I totally deserve it, and I'm totally worth it. I am awesome at what I do. Just see that scene. So what just happened in that picture? Zoom in to you on the stage in this movie of you in the future. What is that version of you feeling? What is he or she, that version of you, feeling like inside their body? How do they look? Often what I hear from people is terrified. I'm anxious. I'm stressed. I'm embarrassed. Get me out of here. Who do I think I am? So I just want you to sit for a second and go inside again and really notice that feeling or emotion as it's coming up through your nervous system. And just for a second, I want you to notice, where do you feel it? How strong is it? If there were two main feelings going on in you, what would they be? And just guess if you're not sure. What's the feeling? And so if you do feel anxiety or some type of stress response in your body, or embarrassment or shame, it means that what you did and said on that stage broke a family rule, a rule that you are never supposed to break. So when you declared your value and said, I deserve it, I'm awesome at what I do, what rule did you break? What rule did you break? Like a rule that you've known your whole life. Maybe you never thought about it, but let it come to you. What rule did you break? And please put it on the chat so we can share this. Please take a minute and put that on the chat for me. Okay, it's not going to hurt your visualization. And remember, we're doing this with people who are saying, yes, I am procrastinating from putting my prices, marketing myself. And there's a reason that they're procrastinating. Now I want you to, and thank you for putting that on the chat. Thank you for your honesty and your authenticity. Now I want you to really tune into the audience and imagine that you can zoom in and see, how are the people in the audience looking at you? What are their reactions? What are they doing? How are they looking at you? Sometimes I hear a mix. They'll say, oh, there's some people that are positive, but are some people looking at you skeptically? Is there anyone saying, who do you think you are? Or I know who you are and you're not that good. Do you see doubt or skeptics? I often hear, they're asking me to prove it, Margaret. Or people look angry. And you know what is worse than that? Is some people will say to me, people are laughing at me or ridiculing me or turning their back to me. On the other hand, some people report as though, well, I feel guilty because I'm tooting my own horn and I'm disempowering everybody. And so really notice, what is your mind painting the picture, what would happen to you if you confidently market yourself? Okay, so new question. When you declared, I really deserve it, I'm great at what I do, did you hear talking in your head, like self-doubt? Did something pop into your head? And if so, what did it say? Something usually like an inner skeptic or an inner critic that can be quite hard on you. And often it comes up automatically. What did it say? Okay. And so now I want you to take a breath, open your eyes, and we're going to capture this. Now, there's another handout that I mentioned here, this handout that you can use to capture it, or you can just write down on a piece of paper in front of you. What were the two strongest feelings you felt in your body in the exercise? And please put it on the chat. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how strong were they? Like 10 means like the strongest, Margaret. So please tell me, what is there? What was the feeling in your body? And let's see. I am going to see if I can see some of your comments here. Let's see. Okay. What is the feeling in your body? Oh, I'm seeing lots of the rules. Never boast. My imposter syndrome starting to kick in. It's not proper to brag or boast. You can't do it. You are full of yourself. Um, they are skeptic. They can't believe I'd be capable of that. See, I told you couldn't do it. Anger, shame, fear, um, uncomfortable, empty, feels threatening, worry and doubt. Doubt is a 6 to 7, worry is a 9, right? And so Amber said, worry. What about worry about what? Like, what if? Fill in the blank on what if. I feel like I want to withdraw and hide. So you see that fear, that anxiety. Terror, embarrassment, feeling guilty, feeling shame, who's going to listen to you. And so when we start to look at what is these 2 strong feelings in your body, and the second question is rate the intensity. We're getting fear at an 8, scared at a 10, don't think you are, right? Shame, fear, disbelief. Now, the question number 3 is what's the most prominent negative reaction you saw in the audience? And then number 4 is what was your self-talk? What did you say to yourself? JL said, who's going to listen to me? Right? Who's going to listen to me? What if I'm not capable of that? And so the last question, the 5th question is, what rule did you break? And so I have all of this on the handout because it really captures this is what's going on underneath the surface. And so I'm going to come back to the script here and say to you what you're going to say to your practice tonight. These are the keys to what's been going on just below the surface. Automatically in your nervous system, in your thinking, and do you see how it stops you from taking this important action, from marketing yourself, from being clear with your prices, to raising your prices, to being enthusiastic, to allowing yourself to feel like inside, like I really do deserve this. I really am confident. Because what you wrote down is key to what's going on below the surface. And of course, that kills motivation and it will create procrastination, right? And so it's important to remember that we'll feel motivated when we anticipate that something that we're going to do is going to have a really wonderful outcome. That's how we get the neurochemical of motivation called dopamine. That is where motivation comes from. It's like, I really want to do this. And my system, my whole body system is like, this is going to be awesome. This is going to go well. I am going to crush it. I am going to succeed. But look at what your system believes is going to happen. If I'm going to do it, as Inga said, and I'm going to feel shame, or people are going to say, you think you know everything. I am not. I am going to freeze, hold back, try to be perfect, self-doubt, and 100% procrastinate. And so does that make sense? And so let's put this together. On page 8 of your handout, there's another capturing. And it's to really get it even more clear. So I want you to fill in the blank. When I think about the real world action of charging more for the value of my work, my nervous system floods with these emotions, right? So for Inga, it would be shame and fear, right? For Elizabeth, it would be doubt and fear. For Jill, it would be, JL would be scared, right? John, it would be dread, disbelief. Number 2, I have an unconscious expectation, like literally in the body, an unconscious expectation that people will react in this negative way. So summarize that, right? That they will react in this negative way, that they will be sarcastic, that they will be concealing laughter. Like that is horrifying. No wonder we don't take the action. And then number three is I immediately and automatically say this to myself, right? So what is the thing that you say to yourself, right? Is like, am I good enough? Or this is, I'm probably going to fail, or people won't like it. So I want you to get all of this really clear. And so at this point, you might hopefully be saying to yourself, like, no wonder I struggle. Like, I get it. And so, does it make sense why you might avoid raising your prices? Why you might avoid and not feel the motivation to market yourself boldly or allow yourself to even feel super confident? Instead, you will be demotivated, like at a brain body level, to do those exact things. And the other thing I want to point out, and this is at the bottom of page 8, you're going to be saying this when you practice it. Do you see how that rule that you have, that you vowed never to break, stops you in your tracks, right? What were some of the rules? Let me go back here, right? The rule that it's not proper to brag or boast. Do you see how that rule Darren Joyce said, stay quiet and be a good person, meaning gentlemanly, reserved, reverent. Don't get a big head. I don't deserve anything. That's a pretty big rule. And so this rule is often stopping us in a lot of places in our life. And so this is your aha moment. This is you've just mapped the roots of why you're struggling with this feeling of being stuck instead of motivated, excited, taking these actions really quickly. It's the answer to the question you may have wondered: why am I holding myself back? Why do I get in my own way? When am I going to finally arrive in confidence? So I want to ask you one more question about this as we go forward. And this is going to be a very hard question. Okay, this is going to be a very difficult question. But I promise to give you clarity about this because it's important for you to see this really clearly. Okay. The question is, how much has this cost you? How much has this cost you? I don't know, in the last 5 or 10 years of your life. How much has this cost you in terms of earning money? In this case, because we're talking about marketing and charging your services. And then have there been other costs? Have there been other costs? So how much has it cost you? Yeah, so JL said everything. Yeah, I hear that a lot. It's cost me everything, a lot because of the time element. A couple people on Monday, when I was doing the training on Monday, said like, well, how is time a cost? Right? And you said it right there. When we lose time and time is going by and we're not making our dream happen, it's painful. It's expensive. Right? I remember a coach that did one of my programs one year said, I was saying, I don't want you to lose more time. I've had people come back and say, I should have did your program a year ago and I waited and now I lost a year. And she stood up, she was in her early 70s, and she said, Margaret, for me, a year turned into 10 years and I've lost all that time. Yeah, time I will never get back. And I want you to recognize that you are similar to your perfect clients. Your perfect clients don't like wasting time. And if they've wasted any time already, they're really, really motivated. So, it's really important to have clarity. I'm coming back to the script that I'm giving you. Important to have clarity, even though it's not fun. It's not fun to look at. It's not fun to talk about. But I want you to take a second and look at it, because from the bottom of my heart, I want you to see it so that you can be clear and on it, right? We have to be clear, and so that we can make a decision and say, you know what? I don't want this to stop me anymore. Because as soon as we say, I'm done with this, fear is stopping me, terror is stopping me, my expectation that people are going to attack me is stopping me, we can have this whole new clarity that allows us to take a new step. But there's one more question, which is, okay, and so we've identified these roots. We've identified these real things. This isn't, you're not making it up. You're not being negative. It's mind, body. It's in your nervous system. But imagine if you could clear these away, because if we can see what they are, we can clear them away. And that's called biohacking. And that is what I do as a coach. And so, what would it be like if you were twice as confident, twice as fearless, twice as courageous? What would it be like to show up if you didn't have that fear and expectation, to walk around in that version of you? Because part of the clarity I want to give you today is also about what's possible when things are uncovered, they brought into the light, and we can make a change. From what place? And from that place, what would you be earning? What would your life look like? What would your work look like? Because if these issues were gone and you were filled with motivation and enthusiasm, what would be different? And so there's space on page 12 to have your client fill out what would my life be like, because we are allowing someone to actually have the gift of clarity around hope. And I'm telling you, people are starving for hope. They are starving for clarity. They're starving for someone to really say, I'm not going to shame you. I'm going to get to the bottom of what's stopping you so we can look at it. As I said earlier, in like real ways, not like, oh, you're being negative, but real, like neuroscience informed, cutting edge, like 2024 ways that are not old fashioned and are not just mindset, but let's get really clear. And so I want you to practice this script with someone today. So again, you're going to find someone who resonates. Now, I created this one particularly because I know your coaches or wannabe coaches, and this is one of the biggest things people struggle with, is like, how do I show up and market myself if I'm not confident? And it affects our money. But there are lots and lots of other people. As I said, all of my first clients were massage therapists and other coaches and therapists and lawyers and chiropractors, because they needed to market their business. And if they didn't, then they wouldn't make enough money. And so this worked perfectly for them. And so I want you to find somebody who you can practice this on. And then let me tell you what's going to happen is that tomorrow you're going to come back for Masterclass number 2. Okay. And you're going to I'm going to open it up 10 minutes early like I did today. You'll see the slide there for Masterclass 2. And what you're going to do is you're going to paste in a little case study about what happened when you did this exercise. Read the script, follow the script with somebody to give them an aha moment about what's going on underneath. Okay. And the reason I've chosen this for you, now remember, I build biohack into everything I do, right? I build tapping into everything I do, but I'm not giving you a tapping script on purpose because what I want to show you here is to give someone the gift of clarity. This is something you can give for free. You can give insights. It's not the same as giving a freebie or a session. And I promise you again, even without trying to jump in and solve their problem, you're giving them something valuable, an aha moment that they will never forget. And it will also bring more compassion to themselves. That part where we say, are you starting to realize why you may not be taking this action? So you're going to practice that tomorrow. You're going to come back here. And I'm going to answer your questions. We will look at your case studies, your little write-ups of how it went, and I will give you live coaching tomorrow. I'll be here with Bethany Long, who runs this Motivation Coach business with me. We'll be coaching you, answering any questions you had. I said this, they said that. We'll do some real in-depth coaching. And don't forget that tomorrow, I am also going to give you another handout, a script called Captivate from the Start. Yes, great question, Radical Manifesting. 100%, this can be done in a group client exercise. 100%. Yeah. So yes, Linda said, I love to give the gift of clarity. Can I adapt it to do with someone who's not in business? Of course. And so all of the different sessions I teach in the Motivation Coach program, which of course as you may know, we are in open enrollment right now for Motivation Coach. It is designed for people whose goals are more around, people's goals who are more around weight loss or business, or I want my soulmate. And so you can absolutely adapt these types of approaches, but you have to really figure it out, right? You really have to think it through. And that's what I have spent my life doing. And so, yes, our Motivation Coach training program is open right now. It's neuroscience informed coaching to help people reach goals faster. It is designed to have you become a professional, confident coach by Halloween, literally this month. It is a way to step into coaching or to add to your skills as an expert in the neuroscience and the brain body reset and biohacking for practical, powerful client results. It is going to teach you and position you as an expert, a professional coach who is going to lead sessions to help people reach their goals faster, which means you will be an expert on, yes, mindset. We heard mindset in that gift of clarity, right? The things I say to myself about this. An expert in goal setting because goals trigger people, an expert in goal achievement because getting to our goals faster means we have to stay on track, an expert in confidence because if a client is not confident, eventually they will stop taking their steps towards their goal, an expert on how to show up with leadership energy for all of those clients who say, I can't be arrogant. How do I show up confident in a way that feels good and is full of authenticity and grace and is affirming of other people? That's called leadership energy. You will 100% be an expert in procrastination and the motivation breakthrough and an expert in high performance action. And this is an all new program I've developed this year. It is all live. I am teaching it live. There are 2 deep dive classes I can tell you about right now. And then there is a 2-day certification immersion so that you can practice, learn, experience, and be a motivation coach again by Halloween, which I think is kind of amazing. And so in this program, you have these 6 fully scripted, powerful sessions. I'm going to talk about those to help avoid the 4 big procrastination pits. Each of them include an assessment exercise, very much like the one that you did today. A different version, a modified version, right? As someone asked, right? Can we modify this for other things? Of course, a modified version. Each one of the 6 fully scripted sessions, which are probably 2 to 3 sessions in themselves, have an assessment and also position you as an expert because you're going to be explaining and teaching all along the way, kind of like you do in this mini version in this script. And of course, it all starts with our comprehensive learning guide so that you learn expertly how to use the tapping technique. If you've never heard of it before, no worries, and how to transform clients using the neuroscience of getting stuck versus being motivated at this brain, body, nervous system level. It's time. It's time to be neuroscience informed and do something that really changes people. And so I want to tell you, if you're interested in Motivation Coach, you're getting a lot. The manual has 5 chapters on just getting you smart, confident, and expert right out of the gate so that you know how to do this work, you know the foundations, you understand it, how to explain tapping, how to always sound professional, practical, science-based, so that you can get clients, not funny looks. And then session 1 is a perfect first session and a perfect reusable check-in session, but it's all about, I feel overwhelmed. I'm stuck. I don't, I show up and I've got this goal and I'm trying to grow my business or I'm trying to lose weight or I'm trying to find my soulmate. And I'm already feeling overwhelmed, worried, and stuck. And we shift them into complete clarity and readiness to act. I'm not going to go through all of the detail, but every one of these sessions has the built-in assessment and built-in teaching to position you as a professional motivation coach who knows the stuff inside and out. Session 2 is I try to be positive, but I'm still really upset about fill in the blank. This is a core skills session that really shows you a session framework of whenever you're dealing with strong emotions with a client, because sometimes when we start to make progress outside of our comfort zone towards a goal, for some reason, negative stuff can appear in our head. A past person, a past thing that got in our way, something we're still upset about. And we need to show clients how when we hit those moments, it becomes like a backpack full of bricks and it really weighs us down and derails us. And we can shift, particularly anger, grief, sadness, frustration, right into desire, passion, and enthusiasm when you know how to do it. Session number 3 is what I call the deserving reset. It's one of the 4 big brain body resets we do in this program. Because if it turns out, and so many of you, we're so honest on the chat here, that when we have a doubt inside of ourselves that's sitting there, that's lurking there, do I deserve that much? Am I really good enough? Eventually that will show up. And in this session, we reveal through the family deserving set points. Remember on the handout, I said the family rule that you broke? This is a very fascinating, novel way to assess why clients slow walk their goals or sabotage their goals, seeing their family deserving set point and shifting that. Because if we feel too guilty or embarrassed about our goals, we won't go after them. That's just the way it goes. Session number 4 is It's Impossible, the power of outrageous goal setting. And this is the second reset. It's called the mindset reset. Because when we teach clients how to really set goals and challenge ourselves around the goals, it will trigger limiting beliefs and they will get stuck again. And when that skepticism is hidden, because we're supposed to be positive, or it feels like this goal is going to be too hard, too painful, hurt people I love, or it's just impossible, so I'm probably going to fail, we will lack motivation to go after it and we'll hit that procrastination pit. Session number 5 is freeing clients to be bold, confident, and visible. Because here's the thing, we also need the confidence reset because we fear. What did we just see in this exercise, right? This is why I chose this assessment for you, this gift of clarity. The fear of how people are going to react to our confidence will stop us. And we are going to have to show up as a new version of ourselves. Our clients, in order to keep making progress, need to show up differently in front of other people and set boundaries and talk and act and be confident, not exude insecurity. And so when we shift clients from fearing that reaction, which is something we would do, it's a very similar assessment to what you just practiced, and then we would bring in the biohacking tapping, we can shift them into a more authentic, shining leadership energy with grace, with humanity, believing in themselves and honoring other people. And then finally, session 6 is a full-on procrastination. Like, I am procrastinating getting this one thing done and it's important. Breakthrough session, breaking clients out of procrastination and perfectionism and inspiring them to take bold action. Because if we want to not only get to our goals, but as a promise, as a coach, get to your goals faster, it's not just about taking action. We have to get back on track when we get off track, because life does happen and we do get off track sometimes. And so, when important steps start to fade and we run out of steam, we run out of motivation, this can start to create a spiral where people start to now lose confidence, lose belief, and instead you can charge them up to get to take these very specific, like this one I love because it's so specific to a task, to take that task very specifically. And so those are the sessions that you will learn as a motivation coach. It also includes 2 deep dive trainings in addition. And so on October 17th, I'm teaching this live. the neuroscience of motivation, the missing key for attracting clients and getting results. And so this will make you stand out as a motivation coach. You don't need to become a neuroscientist and become a brain surgeon. You just need to understand the key elements that relate to motivation, to the brain body system, and what demotivates us versus motivates us. And so you'll learn how to learn more about that, because it's used inside of all of the sessions to shift people over and over and over out of the depressing motivational effects of the stress response and into mental clarity and focus and enthusiasm and courage to take action. The second deep dive live training is on my motivation breakthrough map, which you should also have a copy of from the training on Monday. If you don't, you will see it on the page, the same link. You will be able to get that handout. It's a deeper dive, because this, from my little engineer brain, is the framework for how we get big shifts more consistently. I had lots of coaches take this who already knew the technique of tapping, but didn't know how to use it in this kind of a framework to get bigger, consistent results. And so you will be an expert when you look at someone and seeing what is going on inside of them when they are complaining about procrastination. Now, the entire motivation coach training program itself is going to be taught and practiced in a 2-day certification immersion. You are going to practice, you're going to clear your own blocks, because someone's going to be practicing on you through all of these sessions. And so we're going to go 2 solid days, practice, receive a session, learn live with me, get mentorship. There's going to be about 6 hours of experiential session practice and experience for you to earn your motivation coach certificate. And you might be asking, if you're still here, what is the price? For this entire program? The value of the program is $39.97 for the whole program, including all of the live sessions. This is all brand new, and the manual. But there's also some bonuses. We have a women's only bonus, because we have a women's only event. This is the only thing that is women's only, guys. Don't worry about it. This is a women's only event in November. You get a free ticket as a bonus. It's a $200 offer. It is for women to have our brain body reset for motivation, energy, and confidence to build a coaching business, because women have different hormones than men, and the cortisol, the brain body biohacking stuff, is a little bit different for us. And so this is just for women, but that is the only women only bonus, because the next bonus is a 90-minute tapping intensive that I lead you through. It's already on demand for you. And it's about what? Unblocking your deserving and your confidence to charge as a coach. Because yes, I know that you have resistance to getting paid well. You do have to have a package in order to sell something, or no one can buy anything from you. And we always recommend to start with a 3-month package. As a matter of fact, in Motivation Coach, there is a done for you 3-month package. You're going to see it tomorrow on the training tomorrow. You don't even have to create your package. It's going to be done for you. Beautiful package you can hand to somebody, but you still have to hand it. So that's why that bonus matters. Number 2 is a month inside of our Confident Coach community that has 3 times a month on Mondays, tapping with me and my coaches to clear your blocks. 3 times a month on a Tuesday, marketing and business experts and Q&A to get strategies, stay inspired. And our enrollment does close on Friday. Okay. And so you have to order by Friday. It may close on Saturday, but if you order by Friday, you also get a really big bonus, which is a small live group transformation. A 4-week live group transformation, advanced inner work, different than what's in this program, that's made for coaches, because you do need to be ahead of your clients in your inner work. And so you will be actually working with my most expert coaches in small groups to clear your biggest blocks. Yes, chakra by chakra. And so when we add all of this up, the whole training itself, the 2-day certification, all the expert training, the manual, which is really it, everything is in that manual, and all the bonuses, we get to right around $5,000. And so if you are wondering what the price is and you're like, I want to be a professional motivation coach now, the list price, even with the bonuses, is $3,997. But I am not going to charge you that much. We are in open enrollment for this brand new, exciting program. And so I know that you can help so many people with this work. And so this program, which is a perfect way to start or to add to your coaching, $1997 is your investment. And yes, we have a payment plan. And yes, it is the perfect 3-month offer. These 6 sessions that I talk about, each of which are multiple sessions, really are the 6 pillars of the offer. And that's how you will see tomorrow on your offer, your done for you offer. That's how we present them for you to present to your clients. As a matter of fact, when I give you that tomorrow, your done for you offer, I'm gonna show you that page 1 is the offer itself, and then page 2 is this beautiful representation of the 6 pillars of the coaching. And so if you are all in, please find the link here down in the comments, because we're giving you the link to join the program. You want to click that link to save your spot, and then watch your email on Friday, because we'll have the manual ready. We have a Facebook ready for you to join, and you're going to start reading. This is not rocket science, but there is some learning, because I want you to be a professional motivation coach. And so you're going to start reading those foundational chapters and get really clear. And then step 2 is to add the deep dive live immersion and the calls to your calendar. And so October 7th is deep dive number 1. October 21, deep dive number 2. Those will be a little bit over an hour. And then October 23 and 24 is the 2-day teaching and partner practice immersion. Add that to your calendars right now. Write it down, write it down. And then, of course, for the ladies, you can add the dates of November 21, 20, 21, 22 for our 3-day women's only event. And so I love having the opportunity to share all of this with you, to be all with you today. Thank you so much for your amazing commenting and for being here with me and finding me here on YouTube. Remember to come back tomorrow and with your results. So you're going to take this handout. Why am I not taking action? And you're going to practice tonight on who? Who are you going to practice on? You're going to practice on somebody who says, yes, I agree. I am stuck in holding myself back. I know you can find somebody. I cannot wait to hear how it goes. And so come here a few minutes early so that you have a minute to paste your comments here about who you practiced on, so that we can give you coaching on that. And then we'll move into teaching you more tools. I'm going to give you that Captivate from the Start formula, so you will know exactly what to say to have people going, what? I need to talk to you. Not just anybody, the best potential clients. And we're going to be giving you that done for you offer, so you can see exactly what it's like as a motivation coach to have a perfect 3-month offer to help anybody achieve any goal at all. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You might not have your assignment done. That is okay. Do the best you can. But come here tomorrow and you will see, you're going to learn no matter what from people who are doing this exercise. But because what Bethany and I love to do is, well, we love to be coaching, right? Yes, I love making you this offer, but my favorite thing is on Friday, I get to dive in with my new students who are becoming the professional motivation coaches and really start teaching and mentoring and helping everyone to be successful. So I can't wait to that part. And yes, the link is right there in the chat to join the program. And if you're on my email list, please watch your email, because we will have reminders of the 2 more coming trainings for you. Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody. I will say goodbye, and I will see you all tomorrow, same time.